Hey guys, it's Scott here with Velvet Sunrise, and we're back with another Café Startup Convos. I'm here with Tara from Lighthouse Café in Mount Albert. So it's just northeast
Stouffville
of
and Markham.
yeah, all that. Exactly.
East of Newmarket.
East of Newmarket, that's it. And we're here talking to Tara about her journey. She's been open for about 10 months now, and so we're just asking her a few questions about what her journey was like. So to start us off, what profession were you doing before? And sort of what motivated you to leave that and open up your own coffee shop, cafe, whatever you want to call it?
So I come from the culinary world. I've been doing this since graduating college and culinary school. Most recently, I had taken a break from it, and for 2 years I was working in admin, I was working at a church, I was doing some home care, but this ultimately was my dream, so I wanted to jump into this.
Oh, cool. So once you sort of made that leap, did you figure out like what kind of business model you wanted for your cafe, or what was that like?
Yeah, it was more so just trying to figure out what the ethos of this place was going to be, and wanting to make it a place of community for people. And so yeah, so that was more the business model than anything else. Everything else sort of fell into place around that.
Okay. And then when you're looking for a location, sort of what was that process like, and how did you end up coming to where you're at now?
Yeah, so a lot of that had to do with the type of environment I wanted to establish this in. Because I wanted it to be about community, I figured if I did too large of a population, then that would sort of get lost.
Sure.
And so yeah, so I wanted to do small town, but I needed something big enough that it could actually support it. So Mount Albert seemed like a good fit. And this location became available, and it seemed like a good opportunity instead of having to build something right from scratch. So
good thing. And then when you sort of knew the location, or at least you wanted to come to Mount Albert, did you then do projections, or when did they occur in the process?
I would say it was along the lines of, jumping in and getting it organized. That was really when it started to happen. And even projections, it was more just looking at, okay, what do I need to at least break even?
Gotcha.
Yeah, with it being a dream, I decided I was going to chase it.
Okay.
And at least if I could break even for the first year, then that would be all that I needed. But it's done better than that. So that's
really?
good. Yeah.
So it exceeded your projections?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that was my next question.
Perfect.
So, and then from there, you got the location. So the next step is basically to figure out what your food and drink program is going to be like, the recipes. So what was that process like?
Yeah, a lot of that was looking first at the population and the demographic that I was dealing with. So I wanted to keep my drink menu relatively simple right off the bat. There's never been anything like this in Mount Albert. There's been a few different coffee shops, but never anything espresso based. So we have a lot of people that have been here a very long time, and we have a lot that are new to the area and coming from other places, so they're familiar with espresso, and you have some that just have no clue, and that's okay. So I sort of approached it with the mentality of it was a teaching opportunity for people as well. So started with that. When it came to food, a lot of it I decided to go home cooked, classic kind of stuff. We break out of that every so often and try and just introduce new things. You learn along the way rather. Some things go better than others. So a lot of that too is just listening to the customers as they come in and listening to their feedback as well.
I guess it sort of changed over the last 10 months, progressed as you got to know them better.
Yeah. Even just like simple things of naming sandwiches. Some things will do better depending on what they're called.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Any examples of that?
Actually, yeah, I did a wrap based off of jambalaya, which is a rice dish, and I named it a jambalaya wrap, and it did not do well. When I changed it to along the lines of burrito, it had a totally different, totally different reception.
So know the language of your customers.
For sure.
That makes sense. So once you got your food and drinks, and you got to figure out, who's going to serve this for you, who's going to help you out. What were you looking for when you went to hire your initial staff? What were you looking for in them?
The biggest thing was I was looking for teachability. I find that anytime you're dealing with people, if you are willing to learn, you'll go a whole lot further. So part of that just comes from the standpoint of wanting people to be able to jump on board with what I was trying to create here, which went beyond just creating food. So wanting people who could get on board with the atmosphere, the culture, everything like that.
And so how successful do you feel like you were in that, with the initial hiring, I would say?
It's been really good.
Okay.
All in all, I would say it's been good.
Were there any challenges in the first 10 months with staffing? Like any turnover? How did that go? How has it been going?
I think the challenges were with me, to be honest. A lot of it is just letting go of that control. Again, as I said, this has been my dream. So I guess just trusting that they're going to do what I need them to do. So probably the bigger issues have been with me than
Do you remember sort of like a turning point where you're like, okay, I need to either change, or you sort of, that awareness came to you?
I don't know that there was necessarily a turning point,
okay.
But I think just that realization along the way of I need to let go of it so that I don't drive myself crazy.
Gotcha.
And I can actually turn certain things off.
That makes sense. Trust it.
Let go a little bit.
Yeah. And so once you got all those things done, you're pretty much ready for your grand opening. So tell me about the lead up to the grand opening and sort of what that launch was like for you.
It was a little nerve-wracking, to be perfectly honest. This is my first business that I've run, so that in and of itself was a little scary. So I think as the grand opening came closer, it was just that realization of, okay, this is actually happening. But yeah, we were doing sort of our last few things to get organized. Last little bit of, touch-up stuff. And so we just left the door open. And so our first week actually leading up to our grand opening, as practice to work with the machine, we were giving out free drinks.
Nice.
Worked for a marketing standpoint as well. That's
true.
That
built
people,
some equity
people
with
got
that.
got to test what it was without actually investing into it. So I think that did a lot as well. But
build up some regulars. And that's right. Did you guys have any local events that you got invested in or that helped out in the beginning that sort of helped you sort of establish yourself better in the community?
So fortunately there's a few different events that happen in Mount Albert. One of them was the Santa Claus Parade, which happens to run right past. And so that worked out really well when you automatically have thousands of people standing at your doorstep. So naturally we had a ton coming in for that. There was an Easter event as well that we were able to be a part of where we were handing out Easter eggs. Same thing. We ended up with a few extra people for that too. So
cool. So then just looking back at your whole journey, is there anything you do differently if you go back and do it?
At this point, I don't think so.
That's good.
And again, it's honeymoon stage, so it could very well be that
5
there's
years
things,
from now,
that I would look at different things. All in all, I'm really happy with how it all went down.
That's good. So then, if someone that is watching this video and they're thinking about starting up a cafe, coffee shop, or they're about to, or they're sort of in that beginning process, is there one piece of advice that you would give them from your experience?
Tell other people, whether it's a dream that has been around for a long time, or if this is just a new concept that you're working through. Tell people, because it is amazing how much backing you will get and how much support you'll get from other people.
Awesome. Okay, so tell other people, remember that, let other people keep you accountable, and spread the word so they know what your dream is. So this has been great talking to you, Tara. I appreciate your time, and that's it for this time's Café Startup Convos, and we'll see you soon with another good journey and another story. See you later.